What is going on, guys? BCD here, back today with another video in regards to the VIZIO OLED. And I wanted to go over the best picture settings I found for 4 different types of modes. One being regular game mode, second being game mode with HDR10 implementation. Then I wanted to go into Dolby Vision as well as standard definition. So kind of going to go over those 4 and give you guys an idea of what my picture settings are, and what I like when I'm looking at the television and what I'm looking for. So first up, we have the HDR10 in game mode. I'm playing Ghost of Tsushima, but I really like this because it helps me with the mapping the colors I want it and how I want it to pop really. So I have the tone mapping at 25. I have the brightness at 48. It's usually at 50, but 48 kind of gives me less of that over bright picture. It gives me the darker tones that I'm looking for and the shadow quality and stuff like that. But I leave it at 48. It's only a 2-point difference than what it is at normal. Contrast, I boost up to 55 because I really want the differences between the brights and the darks to be very prominent. Color, I have at 80, which is normally at 55. I feel like that makes the biggest difference. The colors just really seem dull without it being punched up. Again, you could punch it up to 100, but I feel like 80 is the nice sweet spot before it becomes too saturated and you're losing details. I really enjoy it at 80, and this is where this is the most significant change in picture that you will probably see by just boosting your color. Then I leave color temperature at normal. The tint is still at 0, sharpness at 30. There is no edge enhancement in the advanced settings. Peak luminance, if I'm saying that right, I leave that at a medium. It's usually at low, but I put it at medium because it kind of brightens it without having to have that brightness setting on. It's a different type of brightness, and it kind of leaves the black levels the same, but it's more of the peak luminance of it. So if I'm saying that right again. And then there is the pro gaming stuff. I leave everything on there. So next up we have standard game mode. This here is just when you're playing normal games like Apex Legend that doesn't have any HDR10 implementation. So here I leave the luminance at 25, brightness is at 48, contrast is at 50, color is at 80 again, because I do feel like it needs that punch. Tint is at 0. Sharpness is at 25. Color temperature is still at the normal. I still enjoy normal, but you can choose whichever one you fits your liking more, but I like normal. Peak luminance is still again going to be at the medium, and of course the pro gaming engine, everything is on. Now this here gives me that popping of colors compared to the contrast of the darks, and it just really showcases what the TV can do and how bright it truly can get, even though it's an OLED. So I really like this about this television. It definitely is a strong showing when it comes to just colors and saturation. All right, so next up we have just standard definition for watching shows that don't necessarily have any HDR. This is for like the office and things like that. That's actually what I'm going to be using. So I have it on Vivid as my starting point. It is luminance is at 80, brightness is at 50, contrast is at 50, color is at 70, tint is at 0, and then we have sharpness at a 30, color temperature is at normal, black detail is low, and we have super resolution at medium, and then we have the edge enhancement low, local contrast low, peak luminance low, and then we have all the pro game engine stuff off. But this is what kind of gives me the best experience, more of a natural tones to the I watch a lot of Office, so I know the tones of the colors of the characters at this point. So when I'm trying to match it properly, I'm trying to make sure they kind of look the same as I would normally watch it either on my Samsung or LG. So I'm mapping it to that for standard definition, and I feel like these are the best settings to kind of get that. Not saying that the other modes are bad or anything like that, because they all are pretty good. I just like this mode a little bit more, and my settings the best because of what I am normally used to seeing in the color mapping and tones and like how it looks. So that's my settings for standard definition. I tried other stuff with it. It all looks pretty good. So that's what I kind of wanted to, put out there and showcase for you guys in regards to just normal content that's not going to have any HDR implementation. All right, so next up, I want to talk about the Dolby Vision. I use Vivid as the starting point. Tone mapping is at a 90, brightness is at a 48, contrast is at a 50, color is at 65, tint is still at 0, sharpness is at 30, color temperature is at cool, black detail is off, super resolution is just stuck at medium, so it's at medium, whatever. Edge enhancement is low, peak luminance is low, and film mode is on. With these settings, I feel like I get the most color, and like Dolby Vision has such a good standard when it comes to just their color mapping that I really don't like to mess with it a lot. But this here just kind of enhances the picture. But Dolby Vision by far is the best HDR implementation that I have, or color mapping that we have for televisions, in my opinion. The same thing would go with my LG. Same thing goes for this. Samsung obviously doesn't have it. They have HDR10, but I enjoy Dolby Vision a lot. And lastly, we have just normal HDR and HDR10. I kind of bundled them together, but this is what I kind of came out with here. I leave it at Vivid. Starting point is Vivid. Tone mapping is at 100. Brightness is still at 50. Contrast is still at 50. Color is at 63. Tint is at 0. Sharpness is at 30. Color temperature is at cool. Black detail is off. Super resolution again is medium. Everything else is low. Edge enhancement, local contrast, and peak luminance. This one, honestly, I don't enjoy the content that is in HDR10 plus, so it's not really that my most enjoyable experience, but it definitely gets the accuracy down pat for me and what I'm looking for. So with these settings here, it just kind of enhances the picture. It doesn't do much. I haven't changed much, honestly. I think HDR10 kind of keep it simple when it comes to that. So I like it for these reasons, and what I enjoy about it is basically there. But it does give a pretty strong picture. It makes everything pop a little bit more. But I like these settings because it kind of keeps the levels of the black levels low or dark, and then it has everything else popping alongside of it, and then it adds a little bit more color than it wants to start off with. So overall, these here are my go-to picture settings for movie content watching, TV content watching, playing video games in standard definition. And if you have any questions or anything like that, definitely leave them down in the comment section below. I'll be answering anything you guys may have for me. And if you like the content, please don't forget to like and subscribe. There's more videos to come on the VIZIO OLED. I have officially wall mounted this. So this is a continued end cap purchase. I'm not taking this back. This was what I'll be using for next generation. So a lot of more content coming your way in regards to this television. But if you like this content, again, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.